Hey guys, welcome back on the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, several topics to discuss as always. We will talk about Manchester City, Manchester United, Real Madrid, much more. Also an important striker. Let's jump into it together. And here we go guys, always to keep you updated, always with all the latest on the market, because there is always something to say, always many stories around, always many things to clarify. And so let me start now with Manchester United. I want to start with Manchester United because it's a very good moment for Man United. We saw what happened in the recent games with a new coach, Michael Carrick. Fantastic impact. I did a specific video yesterday talking to you about the perspective at Manchester United for Michael Carrick, who arrived as interim coach and now has his own chances to be next Manchester United permanent manager. It's not something decided, it's not something done, but he has the opportunity. He has the chance and now he's doing very well. So let's see what's going to happen with Michael Carrick. But talking about Manchester United, guys, I wanted to mention two very different situations when it's about players at the club, specifically in midfield. Because I'm getting many questions over the recent days about the future of Bruno Fernandes. What's going to happen with Bruno Fernandes? Well, guys, in the last 3 years, let's say since summer 2023, almost, Bruno Fernandes every single summer had the possibility to go to the Saudi Pro League if he wanted to. He had serious chances, crazy proposals. Last summer, Al Hilal were prepared to put big money on the table, but Bruno Fernandes decided to stay. Bruno Fernandes decided to continue at Manchester United. And now, obviously, the feeling around Bruno is very positive. Man United are doing very well. The situation looks completely different. And in the summer, Man United will keep investing. Obviously, in the summer, if you ask me, do you expect Saudis to return to the table for Bruno Fernandes? My answer is yes. I expect the Saudi Pro League top clubs to be interested again. Why? Because Bruno's always been a top target. Because in Saudi, when they want a player and when they see a player as part of their target list, well, that target will remain. And so that remains the case with Bruno Fernandes. And then because it's very clear also that financially from Saudi would not be a problem to reach an agreement with Manchester United for Bruno. That would be more a topic of player side. Players will, because it's not about the salary, it's even not about the salary. If Bruno wanted to go and get the money, he already had the opportunity to get way bigger salary compared to what he's having at Manchester United. But Bruno decided to stay because he wants to win at Man United, because he wants to help Man United, because he feels, as he's the captain, and he feels he can really do something important for the club. So this is why Bruno didn't go. So I expect the Saudis to return to the table, but once again, it's going to be on Bruno Fernandes. Bruno will have the opportunity again to decide about his future. Manchester United now obviously hope Bruno could stay at the club. Over the weekend, he was breaking records once again. The third player in Man United history after Ryan Giggs and after Wayne Rooney to reach more than 100 goals and 100 assists in a Manchester United shirt. So Bruno is breaking records. Bruno is doing fantastic. And Man United hope he's going to stay at the club. But it's going to be on Bruno. On the other side, there is a player who could leave the club at the end of the season, and I would keep a close eye on Manuel Ugarte, because Casemiro is living on a free, but around Ugarte there is already some movement about clubs interested. There are clubs in Italy considering the possibility to go for Ugarte, so there is some interest from Italy. In the January window, Galatasaray were interested, but then nothing really concrete, nothing really advanced, and so all parties decided not to proceed, but Manu Ugarte in the summer could assess options and leave eventually Manchester United. So it's completely different situation, the one of Bruno Fernandes and the one of Manu Ugarte. So this is the situation. We're going to see what's going to happen with these two, but for sure Manchester United have different feelings around them. Then talking about important players, guys, I wanted to answer your questions on Rodri and on Nico Schlotterbeck. To give you a quick update on Schlotterbeck, remember, he's out of contract in 2027, so soon will be time for decisions. Many questions on Real Madrid. For sure, he's a player Real Madrid are following. I can tell you more. Real Madrid were with their scouts on a mission to follow the progress of Nico Schlotterbeck in the recent games. Also in the game between Borussia Dortmund and Bayern last weekend. Schlotterbeck scored. But you can say, do Real Madrid really need to scout a top player like Schlotterbeck? Obviously, it's not the kind of scouting when you try to find a new player, but you want to see the player, how he's developing, how he's improving, how he's working under pressure. Big game against Bayern. So Real Madrid are monitoring the boy. He's not the only one on the short list, but Real Madrid are keeping close eye to the situation, also based on the financials of this potential deal in the summer, whether he signs any contract at Dortmund or not. So it's a situation that Real Madrid are monitoring. At the moment, this is the situation. Then, all your questions on Rodri. Rodri is also out of contract in 2027, in this case at Manchester City, and Rodri in the summer will face a big decision, I would say in the next months. Whether he wants to stay at Manchester City and so consider signing a new contract, or maybe, and this is not a financial decision, from what I understand, it's also about the family, it's also about the personal decision, whether he wants to stay in Manchester or maybe consider the possibility to try a new chapter. So your questions on Real Madrid. For sure, Rodri has fans internally at Real Madrid. Has people at Real Madrid management appreciating him. So for sure, Rodri could be an option for Real Madrid in the summer. But it's Rodri who has to decide. Before any Real Madrid negotiation or attempt, is Rodri who has to decide in the summer whether he wants to stay at Manchester City and consider signing a new contract, so closing doors to this exit possibility, or if he wants to say, okay, thank you, I gave my best, I won the Ballon d'Or, I won everything here, as a club, as a player, so it's time for me to go. It's on Rodri to decide what kind of direction he wants to give to his career at this stage, after winning the Ballon d'Or, winning everything, also having important injury in the last year or so, and so now Rodri will make a decision. Real Madrid, for sure, will follow the situation. Let me finish by mentioning Dusan Vlahovic, because Dusan Vlahovic is now out of contract in summer 2026, so in a few months with Juventus, but Juventus are still discussing with Dusan Vlahovic over potential new deal. It's a possibility, it's not something agreed or done at this stage. Today Juventus announced a new deal for Weston McKennie, one of the best midfielders around this season, doing fantastic in terms of performances, in terms of goals, so McKennie is doing great. But Juventus want to extend also Dusan Vlahovic contract. Now, depends on the numbers. Dusan Vlahovic is currently earning around 12 million euros net per season at Juventus. That's a huge salary. Many clubs around Europe have called over the recent months and weeks, but at the moment, still nothing advanced. So, Juventus are talking with Vlahovic's agent to understand if there is a chance to continue together in the summer. Let's see financially what they decide to do, but for sure, the Dusan Vlahovic situation is going to be an interesting one, because Juve are still trying to extend. On the other side, there are clubs in Europe interested, and obviously a player like Vlahovic on a free could be an interesting opportunity. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories from Rodri, stay at Man City, go to Real Madrid, Nico Schlotterbeck, what should he do? Let me know your opinion also on Bruno Fernandes, Ugarte, what should Dusan Vlahovic do for his future? Your opinion, guys, here in the comments. Like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon. Ciao.